Oh look, Komander.
I don't think I ever noticed that Komander has a pretty dope theme before.
I don't think I've ever noticed his theme. I noticed how much I love his cape. Right? That's not a robe. That's a cape, right? That's a cape.
I guess it's a cape.
That's not a robe. A robe you have sleeves.
No, I didn't say it was a robe. You're the one who threw the robe around. I didn't say robe.
I'm talking it out. I'm talking it out, like showing my work when I do math.
No, you're right. It's a cape.
It's a cape.
It's definitely a cape.
Definitely a cape.
With some serious shoulder pads.
I don't know. That's not a shoulder pad. That's shoulder armor.
Fair enough.
I will say this is cool. It's on Jericho's Cruise, but it's filmed so poorly. Like this is how like ROH used to look.
I like it because of that.
Do you? Because it's like a grungy
like I
feel?
like the feel of it. It's way
feel?
better than the professionally shot but dimly lit pre-shows that we get true. Where it's like you've got like maybe 75 people scattered around watching. Like
right.
This is this is like it. Like I said, ROH is a very indie-rific show, and this kind of complements that more.
I like
in my opinion.
This is gonna be a good match. You know why? Because Komander's in it.
Well, yeah.
This man doesn't have bad matches. Now that I said
but
that.
Also, you're going to like this match because they did not shake hands to start it. So
good. Nobody should ever
already
shake
off
hands
to a good start. Yeah.
If you and I ever had a match, I would never shake your hand ever. I love you, but I would never shake your hand.
Spit in my hand before I suggested to shake it. That's exactly what I do. I'd walk up real cocky and smiling, knowing that the last thing you want to do is shake my hand, and then I would hop to it right on that thing and stick it out.
Spit on that thing. That's disgusting. You're disgusting.
Listen, you're the one that's trying to hurt my feelings by
I would never hurt your feelings.
So I'm gonna absolutely spit on that thing.
I put I love you, but
Rigby.
Who's Rigby?
Oh, here we go.
A wrestler tries to emulate somebody
that
they can't because they don't have the
Ooh.
When you learn yourself, you see the weapon that you are, you start to respect yourself.
Komander's so good.
Yo, he's so
good. That was nice.
Nick Wayne's good too.
Mm-hmm. Nick Wayne's like another example of somebody just picking it up so fast.
Oh yeah.
Like, and I don't even want to say picking it up so fast, but just the improvements are just at a rapid pace.
Yeah.
And that's what Nick Wayne. I know Komander could do this, but Nick Wayne showing I can hang with one of the greatest luchadors in professional wrestling right now.
Yeah, fans getting behind Wayne, even though they are supposed to hate him.
He's lovable.
I don't know why Komander is encouraging the dueling chants. 6 on the beach. That's fun.
What's 6 on the beach? Where does that say that?
It says it in the back. Jericho Cruise has it on a poster. Yeah.
I like that.
Sometimes the results speak for themselves, but I think some of the trauma.
He didn't mean to do that.
Oh,
40s
superhero pose.
How old's Komander?
Spider-Man stunt double.
Oh man, I was way off.
What'd you think?
I said 40.
You thought Komander was 40? Why? What about this wrestler that you hadn't heard of?
That's why I was so impressed with his athleticism. I was like, wow, he's 40 and he's killing it.
What about it made you like?
How old do you think he is?
Understand.
How old do you think he is?
I put him at 20, like 6, 7.
He's 26.
He's 26?
Yeah.
Woo! Nailed it.
Oh man, I thought he was in his 40s. Oh man.
Bro, I had him at like 29, 30 tops. Like that would be the oldest. If you told me he was old, I would guess 30. Like,
Oops.
what about this man?
He looks
That's-
old to me. I don't know.
What?
That's
You
why I
can't
was so,
see his face.
that's why I was so impressed. I don't know.
All you see is his mouth and his body.
He was born premature and nearly died twice as an infant.
Well, that's a not so fun fact, but or I guess depending how you look at it.
It's a fact.
Now all I can do is stare at this man and possibly contemplate how anyone could think he was at 40. Like, what a wild jump that was.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I was way off.
That's ridiculous.
Well, what are you
What?
gonna do?
Like, I don't get it.
I don't know. He looks old to me.
If there was some, if he had the pepper flake, the salt flakes in his, the salt and pepper in his beard, if he was rocking.
I
some
love that you
silver.
called them salt flakes.
Well, I was gonna say pepper flakes, but then I realized that didn't make sense.
This man does not look like he's in his 20s to me.
He doesn't look 40.
Okay.
Put him maybe at a slight experience edge, but I see it as unfortunately.
Yo, you're wild. That man's like in his 20s.
You're wild. That body, that honestly does look like 100%. Look at that torso and tell me that doesn't look like a 20-something-year-old torso.
That looks nothing
Not
like
a
a
hair,
20-something-year-old.
Not a hair in sight. The pecs are still very, college wrestling team.
He's a college wrestling team.
You're crazy. 40-year-old. Nuts.
I thought he said his 40s.
Even the skin alone. This is 20-year-old skin.
How you know? You can't even see his face.
I'm looking at the torso and the arms.
No.
You see some scars by 40.
What did Nick? What? Nick Wayne's a good heel.
Yeah. Well, honestly, he's got a great heel face. We've been over this about punchable faces make the best heels. He's got a real punchable face.
Yo, Logan Paul has the most punchable face of like all time. Every time I look at it, I just get enraged.
I'm convinced that's mixed with his personality and whatever you know about him personally. Because
Maybe?
I told you this
know.
before, but like the first time I saw him was in a movie where he was the dumb frat kid, and there was maybe it was because there was another guy in the frat who had a even more punchable face than Logan, and Logan was kind of just the the
guy.
dumb puppy guy.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until like Logan, grew up and did whatever on social media that I started like seeing the punchable face in him. But prior to that, I never thought so. Miz, I love hearing Miz brag about how punchable his face is.
Oh, he is a
He's
punchable
so
face.
proud of it.
People
But
say
that's why
Christian.
he's so versatile.
People say Christian Cage has a punchable face. I think he has a
I have
kissable face.
Yeah, you think everyone has a kissable face?
That's
Just
not true.
constantly, and then they kiss, and then they kiss. You think everyone should kiss everyone, therefore you think everyone has a kissable face.
Everybody should kiss,
Science.
but I don't want to kiss them. I don't want to kiss everybody.
That's not the definition of kissable face. That's
It's not?
That's the definition of who you're attracted to. Those are two different things.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That guy looked like a slightly taller and buffer Jonah Hill.
I think Komander should be ROH champ, but then we never see him.
Right. I mean, I'm okay with
Wait a
him being
minute.
ROH TV champ.
Wait a minute, this is the main event?
Yes.
Where the F is Jericho?
Jericho introduced us to the show. He's not
So?
going to
He's not gonna
to
have a
participate in one of these matches. No.
He's not going to have a matchy poo?
Absolutely not. Jericho probably wrestled like 2 matches in the entire Jericho Cruise, and I guarantee you they were all with other main eventers. Probably Rock and Roll Express was in there. Like he was, You could whatever Jericho did in the ring on the cruise, you wouldn't be able to air on ROH TV.
Mm.
Though I'll be honest, after seeing this show, I kind of hope that this isn't like I hope they've got another ROH show full of. I doubt it, but at the same time, the cruise was what, like 4 days long, 5 days, something like that.
That sounds awful. I would not be.
I mean, am I bug? Is that how long it is, or
I thought it was like
is it
2
shorter than
days.
that?
Did I make that up? 4 days? Yeah, you're
I
probably
think-
4 days. How long?
I mean, I thought that maybe it was like 3 days, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't like a weekend cruise. Didn't they start like during the week?
It's 4 days long.
That-
It
Boom.
departs from Miami and ends in the Dominican Republic.
Well, then this must have been the end of the cruise because he said all
He
these
said-
matches were coming from the DR.
He said, "I'm the captain now."
Whoa.
Oh, done. Woo!
He lost the hat.
Oh no. Well, he's the captain now.
There it is.
I say that a lot. Anytime I'm on a boat, I say that.
That sounds annoying. I hope
Yeah,
you
it's super
know
annoying.
that comparatively, that is the whole "I'm the king of the world" thing.
You know where it's from, right? Where's it from?
The Tom Hanks movie. I don't remember the
Yeah.
name of the movie, but that movie.
Captain Phillip.
Captain Phillips.
Yeah, I'm the captain now. Well, he is the captain now.
It would be fun if they had somebody come and beat the shit out of Komander right now.
Jericho.
That would be a lot of fun. So this was fun. It sounded like Riccaboni and Caprice were actually at the cruise, whereas
fun.
going into this show, I didn't necessarily know if that was going to be the case. I thought maybe they would just be doing commentary,
After,
from a studio
like,
after. But I mean, if we're to take Riccaboni at his word, it sounds like they were there. So that's cool. That was a nice
That is
touch.
cool.
Yeah, that was 100%.
That's cool.
Yeah, no, that was a fun main event. Glad
I thought he was talking about me rubbing my eye.
100%.
My eye was bothering
yeah.
me. This is my bad eye.
I know it was. I know it
Mm.
was. But yeah, let's get into the after show.
Ladies and gentlemen, the best wrestling podcast around, hosted by Brady and Danielle, the Heel
From
Mob.
Brooklyn to your living room, it's the best podcast to listen to. Morning, even afternoon, hear clever blind girl and a Jew talk about wrestling. They do it 24/7, cause they love to speak on it every week. That's why they are best friends. And they're back once again for some wrestling talk. So sit back, relax, it's time for Heel Mob. They're not just smart, they're Heel Mob.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen, fans and friends. We are back once again. I am the custodian of charisma, the ophthalmologist of optimism. She is the sultan of sarcasm and the sorceress of sass. I am the ghost. She is the coat. I am Brady. She is Danielle. Together we are the best friends in all the land. Together we are the Heel Marks, and this is the February 13th edition of Mark of Honor, covering the Jericho Cruise edition of Ring of
Wow.
Honor. Yeah, they did the entire show from a yacht.
fun. That's fun.
That is fun.
A
That is
yacht.
fun.
I
And
think it's a cruise ship.
I believe we've got Jai in the live chat giving flowers to the ROH show. I believe that's what's happening. Throwing those flowers to the ROH Jericho Cruise show. And we're going to give our flowers to it. Also, this show had a fun feel to it, a fun flow to
Yeah.
it. It almost felt like I don't want to say pay-per-view, but it felt like a special event.
Really? It felt very old school ROH to me, because it was very grungy and it didn't really look perfect and kind of, that's how I
But-
felt with it. but not in a bad way.
No, but like not necessarily like an AEW special event, but like an ROH special event, like old school. It gave me, you know what I mean? Like ROH would have a pay-per-view from Hammerstein. It kind of had that vibe. Whereas they're coming out, you see the people standing in the balconies and you can kind of hear everyone because it's a lot of people, but they're mashed together in a very intimate setting. So you're like, yeah, I get what you are saying, but in terms of what we're presented from ROH on a weekly basis, this felt very much like we were seeing something special, like it when GCW puts on a pay-per-view event and you watch it from your home. It felt like that. It felt like they were pulling out some stops and we were getting a show where everyone got an entrance and every match could have gone either way, and the crowd was, for the most part, into every match. Not that they were the loudest crowd, but I want to contribute some of that to the yacht and contribute some of that to the fact that they were probably exhausted after whatever's been going on that cruise.
Right. That cruise, people probably taking nappy poos. Like there's probably like constant just running around.
As you pointed out, if the cruise ended in DR and Jericho said they were in DR, I mean, this was towards the end of that cruise.
Right.
We got to surmise.
Yeah. So I mean, you're tired towards the end. That's like us when we used to go WrestleMania weekend and we used to get to 205 Live was right after SmackDown. Like we were beat up. Like we were tired.
Yeah, right.
That was like our last one. And we wanted to be enthusiastic because we love 205 Live, but man, were we tired.
Or even just when we were at WrestleMania in New Orleans, all the indie shows we were going to, we were at like a 12 o'clock show the night before Mania. But we had been doing New Orleans stuff the entire time and seeing like 4 wrestling shows. And I think we went to like NXT or something. Like, and so it's the point where like we were trying to keep each other awake. Like, because we wanted to support the independent wrestling shows we were at.
Asleep during it. Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot to take in. But I have to say the crowd wasn't that bad. The crowd was into it considering like when it could have possibly been.
Right. They definitely got loud when they were supposed to. They just weren't a consistently chanting crowd. But once again, a lot of factors into that.
Right.
But they were definitely a fun crowd. And that also added to what I perceived as a special event like appearance. Also visually, the water behind in the background of the wrestling was dope. I really enjoyed that.
You mentioned that about the water, and I said, "Oh, it's distracting." But then when they showed the night matches and it was complete dark, do you know how like a little terrifying that is? That it's like pitch black, like you can't see anything. You're in the middle of the ocean. Like
the implication.
Yeah, scary.
Yeah, but overall, I mean, like I said, I think in terms of like a few weeks ago when we saw ROH 100, we were underwhelmed. And the next week, that card felt a bit, just a bit more special, felt a bit more ROH 100-ish, just because of what the matchups were and because of the way the matches flowed. Our main event felt very main event-ish. Same exact vibe here. Every match meant something. Every match the crowd was into it. Every match the superstar was a certain level of over. And then, of course, our main event was a championship match. So you just really can't beat this flow. This is my perfect flow for an ROH weekly show, especially considering we did get a couple backstage things, So we really did get a mix. It would have been fun to hear somebody cut a promo for this crowd and see what the reaction would have been, but that's a nitpick, That's 100% a nitpick, especially because it's not a usual occurrence on ROH television anyway. Speaking of things that are not usual occurrences on ROH TV, we got the return of Black Machismo.
Yeah.
It's funny. We had just seen Black Machismo not too long ago in Hammerstein.
Yep. That we did. Yeah, we didn't see that. We saw that not too long ago. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
When Mason came out and they called him his domestic life partner, I was like, oh, that's what I would call Brady. His platonic domestic life partner. I was like, oh yeah, that's Brady.
See, I just always use the phrase from Jay and Silent Bob, where it's just, this is my hetero life mate. Like,
oh, I love that.
Granted, I suppose it wouldn't work with me With me
Why?
and you, that really wouldn't work because we are both heteros, but so are most couples. Most hetero couples are both hetero. So
Oh,
really,
well, I'm
really,
still making
what
us
you
friendship
said,
bracelets that say that.
really, with we can steal MXMs. We can steal theirs. But I always like the phrase hetero life mate.
I love hetero life. I'm gonna make us friendship bracelets that say that now.
Yes, have to.
Yes, because now I have to. But
Also,
yeah, I
I'm
like this match.
probably
I thought it was fun.
I'm probably gonna watch Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back again because of
I like
the
it.
conversation as well.
I'm a fan.
But no, this match was a lot of fun, and just this is one of those where just on paper alone, you know it's going to be fun. A, because of what Mason Madden brings to the table with MXM, with Mansoor in ringside, even though he kind of just hung out on like that's the ramp, but
Yeah.
he was like, I'm not stepping down for this. But like nonetheless, and then you throw in the fact that Jay Lethal's going to go ahead and break out Black Machismo for this. Like the elements are just there, and they played with it a lot. They played with the test of strength. They played with the handshake. They played with the Hogan spot. Like they had so much fun with this. They did everything you wanted them to do.
I mean, it's probably fun wrestling on a boat too, on a cruise ship around people that are there just for wrestling, you know? So that's probably fun too. So they definitely got it going. I like the Black Machismo character. I always have. I think it's a fun little gimmick.
100%. That's also a great point where when we talk about wrestling fans, we are on like the Jericho Cruise is fucking filled with them. You're not getting any casuals. You're not getting any people that just showed up to AEW early and will watch whatever you give them. You're not getting the people that are staying after AEW because they want to watch it, but they're fucking tired. No.
Right.
These people might be tired. We already talked about that. But these are people who love wrestling, want to see wrestling. They knew every person that was going to be on this cruise, and they came to watch them all wrestle.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like that. And that's another great element about this show. And another reason why I think it felt special. Whereas, like, you could tell everybody came for this. They paid their admission, and this is what they wanted to see.
That's really cool.
I'll be honest. I hope we get like more of this. I know the Jericho Cruise only happens like once a year, but I wouldn't mind. Like AEW and ROH have so many talent that regularly work other indie shows.
Right.
GCW is a prime example, but plenty others. If they were smart, they'd start making some deals and trying to see if they could get ROH matches to be taped at these indie shows. You know, if you've got two of your guys, if you've got two of your guys on their card, just be like, hey, you know, I'll even throw in these two, but I want two of these ROH matches to happen, and then we'll tape it, we'll promote the show, we'll say where it was.
It's especially the way ROH goes, where ROH doesn't really do storylines too much.
Yeah, not on a religious basis.
Not on a religious basis. So since they don't do that, it's very you know, it would be okay to just throw. It'd be easy, exactly. It'd be easy because they're not like having to do a video package or anything that they could just promote two matches and have two matches.
And it's one of those things where it's like, and granted, obviously, the negotiation process is something that's way above my pay grade, but it's one of those things where, let's say you have Mason Madden and you're putting him in a singles match against an enhancement talent. You want to give him a singles win, right? If Mason Madden is on an indie show, you can kind of just be like, hey, who's he facing? And is he winning? And if the answer is yes, and it's one of our guys, blah, 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 then boom.
Record it.
You now get like, because you use enhancement talents all the time. So if you're using an enhancement talent from someone's indie show, they'll be way more inclined to use their indie show to promote your storylines or you know, get your matches filmed. Not to mention you'll promote their, like, it's one of those things where it'd be mutually beneficial for everybody.
Yeah, and then you wouldn't have to play flashback matches.
Yeah, and not to mention the matches that you get at an indie show, similar to the matches that we got tonight from the Jericho Cruise, they tend to be longer. They tend to be a bit more even match. You don't always know who's going over immediately. Right. Exactly. The crowds get into both of them fairly easier.
Yeah,
like even if they don't know, even if they don't know both of their names, by the in-ring work for an indie show, it's very easy. I don't want to say very easy. It makes it sound like I know how to fucking wrestle.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
For an indie style, like, you can get the crowd behind you. Most crowds want to cheer. They want to be impressed. And when they're impressed, they're going to cheer. Or even what has become my favorite chant from an indie crowd, "You still suck." To me, that's the perfect chant a heel can get. When they do something insanely impressive and you want to cheer, but you hate them, so "you still suck." That's the ideal chant. The ideal chant. So yeah, I kind of hope that enough ROH fans agree with us, it seems, that this was an overall improvement in the presentation. And there are ways. This doesn't have to be a once-a-year thing.
Oh, no.
There are ways to incorporate, not necessarily the entire show, but there are ways to incorporate certain matches with these vibes and with these feelings. And I think it would add a lot to it.
As we say, we always say that ROH is kind of just a glorified indie show, but with this is in the positive way of being a glorified indie show, where like fans are really behind it and you're really into it, and you can have certain matches, and it's not like, oh, we're running time. You can actually like have good matches, long matches, have the crowd really into it because it's not constrained like a TV show.
If you embrace the indie-rific vibe of it, you know, by incorporating the indie crowd, which does add a lot to the shows. And then, you know, you incorporate those type of vibes and styles, you know, the match length, like we just discussed and all that, then yeah, like that's what, for example, if GCW was able to be viewed from an at-home audience, like every week or bi-weekly, I think you'd have people that tune into that. Because they do have that vibe and they do storylines and all that stuff. But at the same time, the crowd makes it, you know, a little extra.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
The truth is the lack of a dedicated ROH audience hurts the show every single week. Because it's not ROH fans. It's
not ROH
fans, and it's the subsets where it's the pre-show or the post-show fans, which you know what I mean?
Yeah. Where either not the full crowd's there and the full crowd's not
like
there.
Intimate arenas come across better on television for matches like this.
100%.
Especially for a lot of talent that you are putting work in, getting them over.
100%.
Let's talk about this one, because this was an interesting one.
Your girl.
I love her. I got this one wrong, though.
It's weird. Once Billie got defeated, I'm like, so what are we doing with Billie now?
Well, no, so this is an interesting situation.
Why?
Because it's something that I've noticed happen multiple times with Ring of Honor, where a talent that is consistently being used as an enhancement talent in Ring of Honor will simultaneously begin to get themselves over with the limited TV time they're getting on AEW TV. And then all of a sudden, overnight, they're a star being inserted into major storylines in AEW. And as a result, like with a flip of a switch that's not acknowledged on ROH television, they've been elevated as well. You know, for example, the Outrunners. The Outrunners never really were actually getting the consistent push on Ring of Honor TV. They were getting the start and stop. We'd see him win an enhancement match. We'd see him lose a match against the Infantry. We'd see him win an enhancement match, lose a tag team title match. Then they get super over on AEW TV, and now the Outrunners are on a roll on Ring of Honor TV. Haven't lost in how long? So Harley Cameron got herself over on the AEW side and is now inserted into a big-time title match against Mercedes in her home country of Australia. So it's like all of a sudden she can't possibly be losing on Ring of Honor television if they're building her up there. But at the same time, you're right. In Ring of Honor, Billie Starkz hasn't really gotten demoted. She's always been one of the strongest
top tier
in the ring. Definitely a threat to anyone and any title. Harley Cameron has never really gotten on that role in Ring of Honor television. So it is one of those things where it surprised me. And as I said, I did predict wrong when I read this match on paper.
Of course, on this match on paper, as an avid ROH watcher, we're like,
Yeah.
oh, Billie Starkz is going over because they keep pushing Billie Starkz, even though they're not pulling the
Right.
trigger. They keep promoting Billie Starkz as this top tier female wrestler. But then you have Harley on the other side of AEW and getting herself over. You're right, she can't be losing matches, but in the ROH world, she should be losing matches.
Exactly.
So it made me scratch my head, like, what are we doing with Billie then? Like, why is Billie losing matches?
Well, I don't mind Billie losing matches only because
It depends.
they've chosen to extend the storyline with her and Athena, where now Athena has thrown Lexi to the side and is almost trying to mother hen Billie all over again. You know, and yeah, we're seeing some manipulation tactics in there, but she is kind of giving all her attention to Billie, and to see Billie lose, we get to see how Athena, the mother hen, once again responds to that. Once again, it's not how I book it, but if they're extending it, we have to sit and watch how you're going to possibly do this. The Athena and Billie characters and that dynamic is one of the most compelling dynamics on wrestling television today. And the way we're now looking at like year 2, like this is some bloodline shit, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, this is definitely
So I don't mind, like, we can't see Billie continue to remain strong all while continuing to be manipulated by Athena. There kind of has to be a bit of give here. If she's not going back for a TV title and she's not going for Athena's championship yet, but we have to believe that might still be the plan if they're prolonging the split and they're prolonging the snappage of Billie. So I don't mind a little, Billie having some barriers in her way, a little unfortunate losses, a little L's coming her way. She can turn those L's into lessons.
Oh, that's what the L stands for, lessons.
Well, I thought it stood for love.
Nah, definitely not.
That's why everyone was like, Brady, you taking the L. And I was like, thank you.
You're like, yeah, I'm taking those Linzer tarts.
Bro, I am not white enough to even think of the term Linzer tarts. That's just...
What? Linzer tarts are just cookies.
Are they?
Yeah, Linzer tarts are cookies. They're the sugar cookies with the jelly in the middle.
Sugar cookie?
Sure.
Speaking of the Outrunners, as I did say, we did see something similar with them, where on AEW they get over like Rover, and Ring of Honor has to go ahead and capitalize. Here we get the Outrunners continue their role against the Grizzled Young Veterans. Grizzled Young Veterans they're one of my favorite heel tag teams today. I love how well they interact with the crowd.
The Outrunners?
Just instant hatred. What?
The Outrunners?
No, the Grizzly Young Vets.
Oh, yeah, the Grizzly Young Vets. I love the Grizzly Young Vets. I always have. I think they're friggin' phenomenal at generating heat and just being their heelish self. They're so good. Yeah, absolutely. They're one of my favorite heel tag teams.
And the Outrunners are just so fun, so over. I love how we get like these. Yeah, I love how they give us the fanny pack commercials before every match too. It's like
I want that fanny
pack. Fanny pack, and then they come right out. I love the fact that after they win, we get those special effects, even on the Jericho Cruise, like that whole retro vibe to it. That was fun.
I love it. Yeah, I love that they do that. That's really fun.
The Outrunners is a strange situation because once again, as they continue to get insanely over, just more over every week, and as they are continuing to be used on Ring of Honor television, you begin to wonder, like, what are you going to put the straps on them? Like,
yeah, but the situation with this is like how we say with all. So you're gonna put the straps on. Are you gonna put the straps on them? But we've been already talking about how the righteous should have the straps. So what we need, or the infantry now that they're healed.
Don't get me wrong. I as I've said, I want the righteous to be champions, but we also haven't seen the righteous since that feud. Short of an online video being posted where we see the artist formerly known as Elias, currently known as, what is it?
Elijah.
No, it's not. I was gonna say Ezekiel, but that was his brother in WWE, Elijah. You are correct.
Elijah.
So
yeah.
Elijah joining the Righteous,
So
which
good.
sounds epic, amazing. Honestly, so good that it's one of those things where, like, I give that gimmick a month before Tony starts moving that over to AEW TV also.
Yeah, and then we lose
which
him.
I'm honestly all for. Like,
Yeah,
I
it's
think
one of those
that
things that you're
includes
happy
the
they're
biggest-
they're expanding and they're getting a wider fan base, but at the same time, as us who watch ROH, we're like, no, you're taking away all our people,
right.
and we get sad because we want to see these people. And I will say, tell them blue in the face, friggin' Kyle Fletcher.
Basically, they got to figure out, like, ahead of time, okay, this act, we're going to commit to them being on Ring of Honor almost every week for like the next 3 to 4 months. Okay, these are the acts that fit that category. Which one of those acts can we get this new singles title on, or these tag teams, and then pick from that. And then it's like, don't pick somebody that you simultaneously want to use regularly on AEW TV, and that's going to cause you to have them skip Ring of Honor.
Yeah,
like don't do
it should be kind of like an NXT. When you lose the championship belt, that's like you're passing it on so you can move to the main roster.
Right.
It has to be
and
something along those lines.
Right. And once again, with the Outrunners being regulars on AEW TV, where there's multiple shows a week, I don't really expect us to be wanting to see the Outrunners win the tag team titles here. But once again, despite that happening, they've remained constant players on Ring of Honor.
Right.
So if that's the case, then you may as well give us a payoff, get the titles on them. When they're on AEW TV, they can bring the Ring of Honor tag team titles to the ring. That gets more eyes on Ring of Honor product. That gets more ears and mouths talking about the Ring of Honor product. It puts a little more juice on the tag team championships. And once again, we've got a tag team that's super over that would be a feature in Ring of Honor weekly.
Right. Right. So they just got to figure out what they're doing, because it gets frustrating after a while.
100%. 100%. What doesn't get frustrating is seeing Queen Aminata on my TV.
I love her.
Also, seeing Serena Deeb on my TV. And the idea that we're going to get a match between these two makes me happy.
Okay, so I'm a little confused on... She said, you're so more concerned with shaking your ass on TV. Does Queen Aminata shake her ass on TV?
Yeah,
when?
You don't... Are you kidding me? It's part of her moveset. Don't come at me, CM Punk. I use the word moveset. She literally does this move where she grabs the woman's arm. She kind of brings the woman to all fours. She grabs her arm, puts her leg over it, kind of like an armbar thing, but then just twerks that ass right on her shoulder blade.
I don't think that's twerking. I think it's just her stretching.
Okay, she stretches that ass in a bouncing fashion.
Don't say that.
Well, the question was, does she shake that ass?
I didn't think that she shakes. She's like, yes. You're so more concerned shaking your ass. And I'm like, does Queen Aminata?
Because shaking her ass is part of her moveset.
I didn't get that at all.
Remember when her and Anna Jay went back and forth shaking their asses on each other?
No.
You don't remember that?
No.
It happened on Ring of Honor television. We covered it. We talked about it
together. And I talked about them shaking their booties?
Yes, we had to.
I don't feel like I would have talked about that. I would have felt very uncomfortable talking about that.
You didn't feel uncomfortable at all. I think you somehow underestimate what your true threshold is for.
Maybe.
You overestimate what makes you uncomfortable, for sure.
But anyway, I'm very excited about Serena Deeb and Queen Aminata because I love both of them. I think they're fantastic wrestlers, both of them, especially Serena Deeb. Even though Aminata is my girl, I love Serena Deeb.
What was most interesting about this was that it started off like it ended with a challenge. But it started off like Serena Deeb almost wanted to court Aminata in terms of a partnership, perhaps a mentorship, starting with you have so much potential. Like it didn't when even the line about you're more concerned with shaking your ass than winning matches, it wasn't necessarily designed to be an insult. It seemed more like designed to be a wake-up call. Like,
Yeah.
So I wonder and slash hope, because I hate segments that build properly to something that's over in a week. So I'd love to see this be the beginning of an actual story. It looks like they're having a match probably next week. It's going to be Pure Rules, which is interesting. Can't remember the last time I saw a women's Pure Rules match in Ring of Honor, so that'll be
Should
fun.
be good. Yeah.
And yeah, it's 100% going to be good. I'll be honest, I kind of want Serena Deeb to win by cheating. And I want her to cheat in a Pure Rules match, which that will be interesting in and of itself.
That sounds pure evil.
But yeah, just like Kai and Tai. But I really think that if she was to win this, that allows us to continue, because then Serena Deeb has a little bit more ammunition when it comes to pitching. Hey, stick with me, kid. I'll show you the ropes. And as much as I like Queen Aminata, I think I would really love a heel Aminata even more somehow.
I think she's going to be perfect for Pure Rules, and I'm really looking forward to seeing both of them do this. And I think it's going to be very beneficial to Queen Aminata, because we know that Serena Deeb can go, and we know, but Aminata, I think this will be something kind of out of her comfort zone, but I think she's going to fucking knock it out the park.
100%. Speaking of knocking it out of the park, Takeshita's so good.
Oh my God, so good.
Like, honestly, every time I watch him, it's like I'm just watching like an absolute master of his craft. Like, everything he does has purpose. Everything he does has a reason. He's in control of the entire situation. He's the quarterback out there.
That was a really fantastic match. I was totally hook, line, and sinker for this entire match. Like, this match was really fun.
See, I love that this match was an eliminator match, which we do not actually get on Ring of Honor. We, for the most part, only get proving ground matches. And the difference being, there is no time limit here. And obviously on the Jericho Cruise, they're not going to give the fans a match that's less than 10 minutes. So, therefore, we get this eliminator match. Still gives Tommy Billington, the Dynamite Kid, just as much reason to want to win, just as much motivation. But essentially, it was a standard non-title match for our international champion, and Takeshita gets the win. Once again, they're so good.
Yeah,
he's so good, but they both are very, very good.
Oh yeah, I thought he was really good too. I think the commentating team did a fantastic job at really like nailing the Dynamite Kid aspect of this character, and then how important it was to win this match and how this eliminator. I think they did a really good job at that.
I think you did a really good job of talking about this match and not mentioning Takeshita's sparkly tushy.
I behaved.
I
can't say I noticed Queen Aminata shaking her butt, and then I'm gonna be like, but I noticed the sparkly tushy.
That's 100% on brand for you.
It is.
I honestly, when we finish this show, I'm going to ask if you're okay.
I'm fine. I do love sparkly.
The entire match, that thing was so sparkly, and all I could think of is, oh my God, I cannot wait to hear Danielle talk about.
I behaved. It was so sparkly. It was so shiny. I felt like a Sniffler from freaking Harry Potter. I know you don't know that reference, but they get very attracted to shiny things.
Fucking God, stop acting like I didn't watch the Harry Potter movies. Stop acting like I didn't read the books just because I don't go to Harry Potter World.
You read the books?
Oh my fucking God, we've had this. Not only have we had this conversation multiple times, I have had this outburst multiple times.
Do you know what a Sniffler is?
No, but
yeah, okay.
Thanks. Stop making assumptions.
Snifflers are really attracted to shiny things. They're like these little cute creatures, and like that's me. Every time I see something shiny, I'm like, ooh, shiny.
All right, Sniffler. Now I learned something today.
Sniffler. Yeah, I'm gonna show you a picture of them. They're super cute. But anyway, that's me.
I love heel Ricochet.
Dude.
Heel Ricochet is a gift from the gods. I will admit it. I didn't think signing with AEW immediately was going to be best for Ricochet. I had no faith.
I remember you saying that. Yeah.
I had no faith that Tony really saw what we saw in Ricochet. But credit to Tony, he has always been good at least giving opportunities for people to show what they got. And all it took was, I don't know where they were when that show happened, but all it took was one crowd to just decide that they didn't like Ricochet, decide to start chanting that he's bald, just decide this is the guy we want to boo. He's got a punchable face. And Ricochet just took it and ran with it.
Insulting someone because they're bald is so weird to me.
It should be a crime.
Insulting someone because they're balding is fine.
And won't accept it. That should be way more acceptable. Like, in fact, that should be encouraged.
Yeah,
but
if Ricochet is balding, if Ricochet is balding and he's like, oh shit, I'm balding, I need to make sure I have a clean shaven head all the time. There's no need to make fun of him. Who cares?
Right. Remember when Billie Ray would have like that line down his head because it just didn't grow here, and instead, like that. Yeah. That should have been made fun of. Call him bald. 100%. That's what you do. You call someone bald when they refuse to accept and embrace that they're bald. But when somebody sports around the proud baldy, you better shut the fuck up.
Yeah, they're just being proud of being bald.
Bald pride worldwide.
I like heel Ricochet a lot. Also, dude, I was giggling this whole entire match because I mean, it only happened for a couple of seconds, but Nyla Rose in the crowd chanting Serpentico sucks had me. He's like, the commentator was like, is that Nyla Rose chanting in the crowd? And you just see her standing up again. The
Serpentico sucks.
She's fantastic.
Nyla Rose.
You probably watched that whole show. She probably sat there with the crowd the entire time.
I hope she booed all the faces.
She probably did.
I hope she booed every single face.
That was really funny.
I wish they did show her more often in that match. In fact, I wish she hit Serpentico with a clothesline, honestly.
I was laughing when Serpentico first came out because I was like, oh, yay, another Serpentico match. I feel like Serpentico has the most matches in ROH. He has to, right?
He has to.
Because we see him in almost every single week he's in a match.
Yeah.
I can't the time he was not in a match.
Yeah.
Like we talk about him all the time.
I mean, there was a streak where, he would just be like on and then off and on and off and on and off. But recently he's been on.
He's always there. Always. He's always there. I'm like, I was like, another Serpentico match? How intriguing. And like, I think the last Serpentico match or the one before that he won. And I was very confused because we're always so used to him losing that we were like, wait, Serpentico won this match? We were like, this is confusing. But I thought this was great. I think Ricochet is really coming into his own and kind of just embracing the heel. And he's just like, yeah, like you said, these fans just start making fun of him and he just embraced it. He's like, you know what? I'm just going to embrace this and be the heel that I know I'm destined to be.
And he cut a promo as part of AEW. Actually, I think he might have just posted it online, but AEW reposted it. It's such a good promo, and I love living in a world where everyone who for years was just saying Ricochet couldn't promo, Ricochet can't talk, don't give him a microphone. Like, you're eating those words. He just needed a place where he could speak what he wanted to, or a place where he could turn on that heel factor and, get out the things that everybody wishes they could say to people.
He was a little shaky in the beginning of AEW, but you know what? He probably had PTSD from being at WWE and like having to hold back so much. So when he's first doing it, he's just getting used to it. So it was probably a little. Yeah. He had mic loss.
Wearing the Jimmy Rave robe is such a nice touch.
Yeah, I like that he wrestles
especially with the toilet paper treatment.
Too.
Yeah,
I like that he wrestles in trunks. I like that instead of pants now, with his little tushy. I had to make up for not talking about a shiny tushy.
You did. You definitely did. Ricochet is also one of those guys, similar to somebody we'll be talking about shortly, but he's one of those guys that doesn't have bad matches. So Serpentico being the one chosen for this, even if it was Jericho choosing it, if it was themselves choosing it, even if ROH had to say, I don't know how these matches were chosen, but Serpentico getting this opportunity to go out with this crowd, with Ricochet, like that's a big shot. You're having a good match. You're able to show off what you can do, whether you're getting your shots in or not.
Right. So yeah, he doesn't have bad matches. Definitely not. So yeah, I don't know who booked it, but I think it was a good choice.
Yeah. I I don't just wonder. I'm genuinely curious. Like, because it's the Jericho Cruise, I wonder if Jericho's kind of just sitting in the back and he's like, all right, guys, who wants to work who? Did you guys talk about it? Like, I'm thinking, like, I could easily see him having like 3 matches in mind, and then him kind of being like, so guys, if this is who I've got. Who wants to work who? What do we think we could do?
Right.
And then people just got to pitch stuff. And I could easily see like Serpentico maybe was like, hey, can me and Ricky work? Can I get him?
Right. I wonder if you can pick who you want to have a match with.
That's what I'm saying. I'm curious how it goes. Maybe we'll tweet at Jericho and cross our fingers that he reads it and responds.
He'll probably make up some fabricated story and it won't be true. He'll be like, I was swallowed by a whale. Did you see that kayaker that was swallowed by a whale? He lived. What? A kayaker was swallowed by a white whale.
Is this some Pinocchio shit?
That's exactly. Yo. Best friends ignite. I literally verbatim said that to my mom. My mom was like, this man got swallowed by a white whale. I was like, what is this fucking Pinocchio shit?
Right. That's
he got fucking swallowed by a fucking white whale.
How did he survive? Did he come out the blowhole?
No, he somehow. Well, I think they don't. I believe that white whales only eat krill, so their teeth aren't like sharp. So he was able to like get out when it like opened its mouth. I think. I'll go find the article. It tells you. Yeah. Sorry.
Was he like in the was he in the boat trying to swim out of the whale?
Yeah,
or was he like thrown from his apparatus and he had to swim independently like the school bus?
Kite man swallowed by whale. Dude, wild. Humpback it was a humpback whale swallows a kayaker whole. Crazy.
Jesus Christ. Well, I mean, him swallowing him whole is certainly how he survived.
Yes.
That's
well, he doesn't have teeth, so they can't like chomp.
Fair enough.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
Speaking of people, as I said, that do not have bad matches, and of course, a lot of the people watching with us right now were tuned in with us, as we've been known to do. Our ROH watch along. This show begins when the main event does. And this was a great main event, similar to Serpentico getting a good opportunity to have a great showing by being paired with Ricochet. Nick Wayne getting not only Komander to work with, getting himself an ROH TV championship match in front of this crowd that was ripe and ready for it. That was a fun thing to see.
Whoever gets paired up to face Komander is going to put on a stellar match. I think Komander just brings the best out of everybody. That's why he's so talented and so young.
And I like how very quickly into the match they were doing some chain wrestling, little lucha wrestling.
Yeah,
it was a lot of Nick Wayne blending with Komander style, and very early we saw Komander bringing the best out of Nick Wayne. Nick Wayne rising to the occasion.
And Nick Wayne really bringing that heel heat, like
he's so good at it.
The snuff kick to the head with Komander and doing all that stuff. He's so
channeling.
good at it.
He's channeling his inner Christian Cage. He's
is.
channeling his father.
100%. Christian Cage is my daddy.
It's funny, when we were watching the match, you said that you wished Komander could be ROH champion, and I know at first I was kind of disagreeing because I was like, well, he's TV
love
champion,
disagreeing with
so
me. Yeah,
this
you
is
love
fine.
disagreeing.
No. However, in time, I have thought about it.
Okay to be wrong.
And I'm not wrong. But I think that an improvement on your idea would be if we united the ROH champion with the ROH TV championship.
No.
Listen, hear me out.
No.
We don't get ROH champion on the show. And if we do, we don't get TV champion on the show. We don't get them in the same place. You might as well just give one person 2 reasons to come back every week.
Well, I said the reason he should be ROH champion is because he deserves it. But then I was like, we would never see him again. So I don't know. I feel like the minute you become an ROH champion,
choosing an ROH champion that would be almost entirely on ROH TV without getting sucked into the AEW vortex would be a tough thing. Like, honestly, the first name that comes to mind is Shane Taylor.
Yeah,
I think Shane Taylor. I've been saying that for a while.
You're obsessed.
Well, no, but he's Okay, first off, he's a name that has a main event feel to not a name, but like his character has a main event vibe to it where he's leading a stable. He's always talking about how he's coming for everything that people don't want to give him. And also, he's
You're
featured on
obsessed
Ring
with
of
him.
Honor television way more than he's featured in AEW.
That's
So, like,
true.
that's what I'm looking for. Somebody that's not going to get swallowed up, but could rise
By
to
a
that
whale.
ROH
Right.
main event occasion.
I mean, okay, that's fair. But I think Komander would be a good one. But then I'd be afraid.
But you're not solving the problem that you're bringing up. Komander
know.
is to AEW.
Oh, I
you
know
what
who
mean?
they.
Like,
We already know the answer on who they should put it on. Who would be on
Serpentico?
ROH all the time? Serpentico. Just put the belt on Serpentico because he's always on ROH TV, and we'll see him every week. And he'll just have non-title matches all the time, so he can lose all the time.
And then Nyla Rose comes out, power bombs the shit out of him, and that's it. That's how we get Nyla Rose as our champion.
Yeah, but way down the line, so we can see him.
No,
every week.
I want it immediately. Serpentico.
Well,
I want it to happen during the celebration.
That's not how it works.
I want it to be Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn style. Nyla Rose comes out, hugs him, and then slams him into a barricade.
No, but my name's on the list. No. But yeah, I love how I said we know who should put it right away. You knew I was going to say Serpentico. That's who you put it on if you want to see it on ROH TV every week.
Definitely.
Oh, man.
Yeah. That would be so crazy.
That would be wild because he would be on TV unless all of a sudden he got a push and he was on AEW. Constantly.
I mean,
is Serpentico on AEW? I don't remember seeing him there.
Not really.
No.
Not really.
Put the ROH championship on him. That's it. That's my new
Jay
thing.
Lethal would be a fun one.
Yeah, but we never see him.
No, Jay Lethal's not a super AEW regular anymore. It's not like they truly commit to him there.
He wouldn't be on anything.
And with Ring of Honor, he's got that retro feeling where he is almost, he's a Ring of Honor legend.
Yeah.
And it would be a guy where, as a veteran holding the belt, whoever gets it from him could be a young guy in Ring of Honor getting the rub to move forward.
They could do it where Jay Lethal is ROH champion, but Black Machismo is not, or the other way around.
We could, you know what? I don't know, man.
You're thinking about it. I like it. At least you're thinking. I appreciate you.
I just don't think I would enjoy that. Like, just everybody ignoring that he was Ring of Honor champion on the other show. And
imagine him being Black Machismo world champion on ROH. Right. And then when he goes to AEW, he's just Jay Lethal.
Just losing matches left and right on Wednesdays.
Well, it's like Serpentico. Yeah. Just have Serpentico and then have him unmasked.
I'm just sure AEW. That would be something for me to complain about. I just feel it in my bones.
I don't know. I'm advocating for Serpentico to be ROH champ from now on.
I am advocating for more shows like this. I cannot say enough good things about how the Jericho Cruise show came across. I hope that they've got another one in the can. I believe they had enough matches there. I don't know if they had enough ROH matches there, but they had enough matches there where they could have gotten 2 shows of this. I don't know if they did. I highly doubt it. But once again, hopefully ROH and AEW and Tony Khan hear enough positive things about this show and about the reaction to it compared to their normal weekly programming so that they start talking to other indie shows and figuring out ways to incorporate this style. So I really enjoyed
this. Was a style I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed this episode. And not just because it was shorter than normal. I really enjoyed it. I was invested in all the matches. I was liking what was happening. And I liked how involved the fans were with it. I really enjoyed it. It was the indie show that I've been wanting to feel like I was a part of for a while.
Yeah. It felt like and once again, I'm just gonna harp on this because when I say it felt like an ROH special event, let's look at what our normal ROH pay-per-views are. They don't feature weekly ROH talent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if they were throwing an ROH pay-per-view together, we'd get the ROH champions who already most of them are AEW regulars. And then they'd probably throw a few other people that mean something in Ring of Honor, but are also AEW regulars. You
Right.
get maybe one person from your weekly ROH roster on that pay-per-view, and it would probably be Athena, who once again fits into the champion category. So this was like, it felt like what I would want an ROH special event to be. Obviously, if it was a pay-per-view, you'd need more title matches, but you understand what I'm saying, where the ROH people truly got to shine. Everyone, even Billie Starkz, who, as we talked about, was on the losing side, and that might take her down a different path, but I'm excited to see that path, and certainly excited to see Harley Cameron get some love in front of this live crowd.
Yeah, that was really exciting. I was like, whoa. I was like, that's really...
Yeah, just an overall very, very cool show. A nice breath of fresh air from Ring of Honor television. And hopefully they take this and keep running with it.
Definitely.
Even if we don't get something like this for the next year, it was nice that we had it. And nice that we had all of you guys hanging out with us during the main event and during this show. Thanks for hanging out with us. As always, we will see you next week. Follow us everywhere at the Heel Marks. And never forget that we're not just smart marks.